flicks where we stay ready so you don't have to. The movie we're reviewing today is The Color Purple in the year of 2023. This movie been getting a lot of controversy because of the Taraji P. Henson thing with pay disparity among actors and actresses. It ain't my job to, judge whether she should get paid or not. But personally, I think she should. She among the top actors in the game. She say the math ain't mathing enough. But for this movie's sake, this classic ain't classicing enough. Let's get into it, y'all. Basically, this movie about Celia's abusive father marrying her off to Mister. And moving forward, things go from bad to worse for Celia. Despite it all, she remained hopeful that someday she will be reunited with her sister.
Hey sister, what you gonna do?
Keep your head held high, just like Mom taught us. Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
How come we don't have none?
All I have is my sister.
Get off my land!
I know she's somewhere.
It's time for you to see the world.
Someday we're gonna meet again.
The Color Purple, rated PG-13.
Moving on to key takeaways. For those who don't know what key takeaways are, basically the message from the movie, what the director wanted us to see. The two key takeaways from this movie are, first, standing up for yourself. This movie basically the epitome for standing up for yourself. From getting beat by a man, from racist people talking crazy about you. You gotta stand tall through it all. Second, don't lose hope. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope." This movie is all about the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me get an amen. Moving on to strengths. Basically what this movie did well. Starting off first, the visuals, the environment. This movie made it felt like we was in the South in the early 1900s, right after slavery, from the clothes they wearing. So you see me with the suspenders on and the old looking shirt, the nice dress Celia had on. It put you in the mindset of the early 1900s. Second, great casting. A lot of familiar faces from Taraji P. Henson, Halle Bailey, Fantasia, etc. I don't want to mention too much because some of it didn't get mentioned in the trailer and I ain't giving out no spoilers. Rolling on over the weaknesses. What this movie did terribly. First and foremost, it was a musical. Don't nobody like no musical. You feel me? I feel like personally, musical times have passed. I believe they belong in plays and in cartoons now. We live in a time of reality, not imagination. In the past, we were believing in Bigfoot. Your grandma used to say, "Hey, look, she seen a man in the forest like 20 feet tall." Bro, you can't be believing in that stuff now. We live in a different time now. Second, subpar acting. Not saying the actors or actresses in this movie are bad by any means, but the musical sucked all the emotions out of the movie. For example, anytime you need to be freaking sad, you wasn't sad. Anytime you need to be joyful, you wasn't joyful enough. For example, I liked the character Mister. He did a great job in this movie, feel me? He had raw emotions. Anytime there was a deadly scene in the movie where he was freaking being silly or talking crazy to people, he did a great job of it. But the musical took the emotions out of it. He couldn't really get into character like he needed to be. I felt like this movie could have jump-started his career. For like basically making him be one of the actors in the acting game. Third, familiar faces. I know I put that in strengths, but it in my weakness too. I feel like the people who invest in this movie, they relied on star power, singers and stuff like that. Not saying these singers are bad in sense of this role, because it's a musical. It makes sense you would put people who can sing in a musical. But for a real movie where you have the true acting, it would have went in another direction with people who can actually act out the role. Moving on to plot predictability. On a scale from 1 to 5, 1 meaning it's super predictable, 5 meaning it's not. I give this movie a 1. I'd kill him dead if I let him beat me. Man, I've seen this movie a million times. The one from 1985, hundreds of times seen it. So it was a remake, so obviously I'm gonna know the movie. But should you watch this? Heck no. I know that sounds crazy because this movie is supposed to be a classic, but this is not the movie to watch. Don't watch it when it come out on stream. Do not watch it when it come out on Dish. or DirecTV. Leave it alone, man. But in the meantime, like and subscribe to the channel, you boy. And comment what movie I should do next. Till out. And remember,